Hello and welcome to today's walkthrough. In this session, I'll be showing you how to automate a hiring process using Make.com. This automation will help you save time, eliminate repetitive tasks, and make your recruitment more efficient and professional. This automation is going to be in two parts. And we will start with the second part, which you can start using right away with just little to no manual input. Before we dive into building the automation, let's take a quick overview of how the workflow is structured. We'll start with a trigger module, the Watch Records module from Airtable. This module monitors a specific table in your database and detects any changes to the records, whether it's a new application or an update to an existing one. Based on that, different actions are triggered automatically. These include updating the applicant stage in the hiring pipeline, sending emails based on the outcome of each stage, and tracking interview and offer status. So let's first take a look at the Airtable structure that we'll be working with. Here's the layout of our applicant database. Name. This is the full name of the applicant. Email, their contact email. Phone, their phone number. Position, the role they're applying for. Current stage, the current step in the hiring process, e.g. screening, interview, offer sent. Resume, whether a CV is uploaded or linked. Screening approved, a yes/no field to determine if the applicant has passed. Interview 1 for the first interview status. Interview 2 for a second interview if applicable. Interview approved. Offer letter sent. Yes/no field to track whether an offer was sent. Offer accepted? This setup allows flexibility for organizations with multiple interview rounds. You can determine progression by toggling fields such as screening approved, interview 1 and interview 2. Each one triggers a new action in our automation. Once the final interview stage is completed, the system sends an automated offer letter via email, without requiring any manual intervention. Now let's head over to Make.com, where we'll start building this automation as a scenario. Let's begin building the automation in Make.com. If you don't already have an account, go ahead and sign up at Make.com. It's free to get started. Once you're in, click Create a New Scenario. For our trigger, we'll use the Airtable Watch Records module. This module tracks new or updated records in our Airtable base, which is essential for monitoring applicant progress. Add the Airtable module to the scenario. If this is your first time, click Add to create a new connection. Select your authentication type. Typically, this will be Airtable Auth. When prompted, enter your Airtable login credentials and authorize the connection. Since I've already set mine up, I'll just select it from the list. Next, choose the following. Your base. The table that stores your applications. For the trigger field, select Last Modified. This ensures the automation runs anytime something in the record is updated. Set the primary field, e.g. applicant name. For view, select your main working view, typically the default grid view. Click Save to finish configuring the module. Now that our first module is set up, click Run once to initialize the scenario and confirm everything's connected correctly. Once that's successful, we can now build the rest of the logic using routers and filters to direct different actions based on how each application progresses. Let's add a router module to split the flow based on different application outcomes. Our first decision point is, has the applicant passed the screening stage? We'll create two branches from this router. One for applicants who did not pass the screening, another for applicants who passed the screening, and move on to the interview stage. Let's now build the first branch of our router, for applicants who do not pass the screening stage. Click on the first route from the router and add a filter. Set the condition like so. Screening approved is equal to no. This tells Make.com that this route should only be executed if the applicant was rejected during screening. Next, add an Airtable. Update record module. Here's how to configure it. Base and table, same as your original. Record ID, map it from the Watch Records module. The field to update here is current stage, and we set that to rejected. Click to save the module. Now we want to notify the applicant. Add an email module, and you can use Gmail, Outlook, Zoho Mail, or any SMTP setup. For this video, I will be using Zoho Mail. Enter the subject and body of your message. Map the fields to dynamically insert. Applicant name. Position title. Click Save to finish. That completes the first route for applicants rejected at screening. Let's now work on the second branch of our router. For applicants who passed the screening stage and are ready to move to the interview. Click the second route from the router and attach a filter. Set the condition, screening approved is equal to yes. This will direct only the applicants who have successfully passed the screening. Now, we'll update their current status. Add an Airtable, update record module, and configure it as follows. Base and table, same as before. Record ID, map it from the original record. Fields to update. Current stage. Set this to interview. Click to save. Next, we send a congratulatory and inviting email to the applicant. So, just like previously, we will add our email module and configure it. You can use Calendly for scheduling your interview sessions and include a link for the applicant to schedule the meeting. Now let's move on to the next step. Handling applicants who pass the interview and are ready to receive an offer letter. To do this, we'll create a new route from our router. This one will be triggered only when the interview is approved. So first, let's add a new route. Now, attach a filter module and set the condition to if interview is approved. This ensures that this route only applies to candidates who successfully made it past the interview stage. Next, we want to update the Airtable record to reflect their progress. So drag in an Update Record module, connect your Airtable base, and map the record ID from the Trigger module. We will update the current stage to say Offer. After that, we're ready to send the offer letter to the applicant. So go ahead and add your email module. I'm using Zoho Mail here, but you can use Gmail, Outlook, or whatever works for your setup. Set the from address to your company email, and for the to address, just map the applicant's email field from Airtable. Input your subject and body into the fields. Finally, to close the loop, let's mark the offer as sent in Airtable. We'll do that by adding one more Update Record module. Again, use the same record ID, and this time we will be updating the offer sent field. So we set offer sent to yes. You could also add a sent date so you know exactly when it was sent. Now let's take care of the other outcome, when a candidate unfortunately doesn't pass the interview. To handle this, we'll create another route off the same router we used for interview outcomes. So let's drag out a new route and connect a filter module. This time, we want to be a bit more specific with our conditions, since we already have a filter that checks rejection at the screening stage. So here's what we do. In the filter settings, set two conditions. Current stage equals interview, and interview approved equals false. This ensures we're only rejecting candidates after the interview has taken place and they've officially not been approved. Next, let's update their status in the Airtable record so our system and team is up to date. Add another Update Record module. Map the record ID like before. Set the current stage field to Rejected. If you're tracking timestamps, you can also add a field like rejection date with the current time using now. Once that's done, it's time to notify the applicant. We'll use the email module again. Set the applicant's email as the recipient and your usual sender address like info@linkserlabs.com. For the subject, let's keep it polite and clear. Use a simple and respectful message. Just like before, map the applicant's name and the role dynamically to personalize the message. And that's it. With this route, your automation now handles rejections post-interview professionally, without needing manual follow-ups or missed updates. This ensures every candidate gets a timely and respectful response, and your hiring pipeline stays clean and efficient. All right, now let's wrap things up by handling applicants who go through multiple interviews. In some cases, the first interview is self-scheduled by the applicant, but a second one, like with HR or a tech lead, needs to be coordinated manually. So we're going to build a route that sends out next round interview notifications, but only when that first interview is marked complete. First, let's add a new route from our router. This will handle candidates who've completed the first interview and are moving on. Next, attach a filter module and set it up like this. Interview by HR equals true. This means someone, maybe your HR team, has manually marked that the first interview was completed and the candidate is cleared for the next step. You can rename this field based on your Airtable structure. It might be something like Interview Round 1 completed or HR reviewed. Now, let's send the candidate an email to inform them about their next interview. This route ensures that your multi-interview pipeline is seamless, with clear communication and human input where necessary, like confirming the first interview before scheduling the next. Finally, let's add a really important piece to make sure everything runs smoothly: error handling. Sometimes your email service might time out, or your database might lag. Without proper handling, this could break the whole automation, and we don't want that. So, we're going to use the break module. Go ahead and click the little plus icon on any of your critical paths, like the email steps or Airtable updates, and search for break. This module lets us pause and retry the failed action instead of stopping the entire scenario. Now, let's configure it. Set it to automatically retry. Number of attempts, 3. Interval between retries, 5 minutes. This means if an email fails to send, maybe because of internet lag or server issues, Make.com will try again up to 3 times, waiting 5 minutes between each attempt. Super useful. And there you have it. A simple yet powerful automation to streamline your hiring process. Of course, this is just a foundational workflow, but even this basic setup can save you a ton of time and reduce manual follow-ups. There's so much potential to expand this. We could even integrate AI to handle parts of the screening process automatically. If you have any specific use cases or ideas you'd like us to explore, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'd love to help if we can. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next automation walkthrough.